Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reacting to Bob Dylan's Hurricane. This was requested by Steve and by Paul. Before I begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Steve for supporting the channel, for buying me a coffee, and for leaving that wonderful advice. I really appreciate it. Thank you also for all the comments, for all the love that everybody has been showing me, and for all the thoughtfulness that you all apply to the comments you leave. I may not respond to all of them right away, but like all of them matter to me so much. Just like being able to have these conversations and kind of learn more about what the songs mean and all these different things. Like, this is why I'm here. These conversations mean the world to me. So thank you so much. And keep on commenting, keep on liking. Definitely subscribe to the channel for more reactions like these. I'm going to be listening to a wide range of music, but I'm going to listen to things from you too and from your artists too. So like, I'm open to all kind of music, and I'm just super excited to continue listening to Dylan. So we're going to listen to Hurricane. Before we begin, I wanted to get some additional context on the song. Hopefully not too much context where it becomes like a spoiler. So let's read what we got. So what I have is this track dropped in 1975 as part of Dylan's album Desire, right in the thick of the mid-70s. It stands out on the album and was one of the most talked about songs of the time. Dylan was in his mid-30s, already a cultural icon with a career spanning folk, rock, and more. At this point, he was shifting again, becoming more theatrical, narrative-driven, and politically direct in his music. There's also a little bit of cultural and historical context here too. The US was still reeling from Vietnam, sorry, and Watergate. Race relations were tense, and trust in the justice system was strained. The song reflects a real event that hit the nerve of the moment. I don't know what that event is, and that is okay. I don't want to go too much into it. I don't want too much context, to be honest, but enough to just allow us to appreciate the song on a deeper level. So yeah, I'm ready. Let me scooch out of the way. And if you haven't recognized, I upgraded my gear. I got better headphones so that I can hear the music better. And I also have a better mic so you can hear me better. All right, let me just hit play. Oh my gosh. What will this be? This is like a mystery box or like a box of chocolates or something. Love it. Oh, sorry.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night.
I'm sorry. You know how I am. Like, I need to appreciate the beat. I don't know if I heard a flute. I'm learning my instruments. I don't know if that was a flute. I don't know what it was. But whatever it is, the composition, if somebody could tell me, I really appreciated it. I think it sounds so remarkable. So I'm going to listen to it again. Yeah. And then I won't interrupt until a little later. What's that? Is it a thing?
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
Wow, this is 8 minutes. Yes, this is 8 minutes. Oh my God. I don't know when we're going to finish this. I don't know when we are going to finish this. I don't know. The part where it says, here comes the story of the heart. Like, tell me. Like, that's just like such excellent sensibilities in terms of music. Like, can you see? Can you see? That's just good. That's good sensibilities. I don't know if it's like something using my eye or if it's the music that's hitting my soul while my eyes are watering. Again, this happens to me a lot. Listen, he has such remarkable music sensibilities. Wow. It's like it's like a puzzle, right? It's like a puzzle and everything is perfectly in its place. But it's not, because how would he have known? Wow. This is great. That's great.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
Wow.
Three bodies lying there, does Patty see?
I just want to say, I told you this is gonna be a long one. If you like, you must like this song. I like this song, so I'm gonna play it over and over again. I said to, I don't remember what was the name of the person. I think it was Jim. Forgive me if I'm butchering your name. I will correct it. But I said in one of my reactions that I don't want to go on and on because I don't want to bore the audience. But I really do, like, this is kind of what I love to do with music. Like, I love to like unpack it and try to like figure out what's happening, and also just kind of try to derive the deeper meaning in it versus just rushing through it and saying that it's good. Like, that's kind of not my style. So it's 8 minutes. How long is this video gonna be? All right. So in terms of the first verse, clearly this is about somebody who got incarcerated, though they weren't supposed to be. He says this person could have been the champion of the town, but they got arrested, and somebody came down, saw that the bartender was dead. Listen, let me just, in a pool of blood, the man the authorities came to blame, put in a prison cell, but once he could have been, right? And then the chorus. Oh, all right. I told you it was gonna be long. I really love the song. This is great. It could have been a minute long. The fact that it's at 8 minutes is a blessing. A blessing, and I don't use that word lightly.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
People love to talk about the flow of people who do rap. I'm getting goosebumps. They love to talk about the flow of people who do rap. But let us not put down. Like, are you hearing the flow in Dylan's voice here? But one time it could have been. I'm not a singer, but that's amazing.
In a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Three bodies lying there, does Patty see? And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do what he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register. I hope you understand. I saw him leave, and he says, and he stops. One of us had better
So I just want to, again, Steve, wow. Um, First of all, the second verse here is crazy to me. You were only robbing the register. You have nothing to do with it. You're on the scene. What are you talking about? But somebody ends up dead. You were only robbing the register and you guys call the cops. I mean, if you're still around and you didn't run away, then maybe your sense of responsibility is so high that you're like, somebody got killed, even though I'm a robber, I'm gonna stick around. Or are you pulling wool over our eyes? Because if I was a jury, a part of a jury, then these are the questions I'd ask. What a beautiful track. And also, first of all, the beat is amazing. It's amazing. I didn't realize that the violin continues throughout the first verse. It probably continues for longer. But the storytelling is amazing.
Three bodies lying there, there's Paterson, and another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do what he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw him leave and he says, and he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Patty calls the cops, and they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night. Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Rubin, Carter, and a couple of friends are driving around. Number one contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Paterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you wanna draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just
I do have a tendency of forgetting to unmute myself. I thought the audio from this was playing over. I'll probably just do a voiceover, but what I did say is that, I'm from a place where you don't have to worry about what you look like. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to try to interrupt you just because of what you look like. For him to have been in a place where this was a concern simply because of what he looks like it's terrible.
far away in another part of town. Rubin, Carter, and a couple of friends are driving around. Number one contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Paterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you wanna draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, I saw two men running out, they looked like middleweights. Jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him he could identify the guilty man.
So we're clearly talking about being complicit, just agreeing to something simply because you don't say, well, I didn't see that, right? You're just there. And then you could hardly see, yet you're saying that you can identify who did it. These are the problems. These are the things. This is what happens when, you just accept that people are telling the truth. You just accept that, like, can we do our jobs, please?
Alfred Bellow had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, I saw two men running out, they looked like middleweights. Jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him he could identify the guilty man. The wounded man looks up to his one dying eye. See, why'd you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy. Here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done.
Hold on. Did I misinterpret a part of it then? She just nodded her head. Wait a minute, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. They told him that he could identify the guilty man. Oh, I see. So he didn't do anything. Okay. And though this man could hardly see, they told him. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you're gonna try to allow somebody. That's crazy. What a story, huh? Wow. I bet you gets to the point where he can't see them. He's gonna say this isn't the guy, but then they're gonna be like, well, he couldn't see anyways, right? But then if he did say it was the guy, then it would have been useful.
4 months later, the ghetto's on flame. Something that he never done. Hospital and they brought him upstairs. The wounded man looks up to his one dying eye. See, why'd you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy. Here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Later, the ghetto's on flame. Rubin's in South America, fighting for his name. Well, Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? Think you'd like to play ball with the law? Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running at night. Don't forget that you are white.
I just want to bring that part back a little bit. Let me go back to that verse. Too far. Right here.
4 months later, the ghetto's on flame. Rubin's in South America, fighting for his name. Well, Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? Think you'd like to play ball with the law? Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running at night. Don't forget that you are white. Arthur Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. The cop said a poor boy like you can use a break. We got you for the motel job and you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail, be a nice fellow. You'll be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in the stir. take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he'd say, I do it for pay, and when it's over, just as soon go on my way, up to some paradise, where the trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse, where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. All of Rubin's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Rubin's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. And to the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger. And though they could not produce the gun, the DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the old white jury agreed. Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder when, guess who testified? Bellow and Bradley, and they both all they lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
I'm just incredibly impressed with this track. I feel like a lot of what is said here is pretty obvious and easy for us to interpret. Bob Dylan doesn't typically write this way from my experience. But yeah, I feel like there's so much here, and I feel like it's so important for us to talk about. It's so important for us not to just take a song like this and say, oh my God, this is such a good song, and all of that. It's really important, and it's one of the things that I constantly ask when it comes on to music, is that art is, yes, it's art, it's a form of expression, it talks about our societies and things like that, but I feel like the larger purpose and larger goal, the greater goal of art is also to transform. And if you leave a song being the same way you entered the song, then I feel like either one, the musician didn't do a really good job, or two, you missed the point. So much here. I mean, we're talking about somebody obviously being framed, people in power wanting to humble somebody because they're getting too strong, the issues with the judicial system in terms of like somebody being judged by people with skewed perceptions, whether it's because they don't understand the background of the person that's on trial. Like, how would an all-black jury understand what it means to be somebody who owns, I don't know, whose net worth is $1 billion, and the kind of decisions you make? It's not that you're incapable, it's just that you want to try to have a diverse judicial panel so that you can make sense, you know what I'm saying? Make better sense of that. I mean, it's something I've heard talked about quite a bit. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's something that has come to my attention or come across, you know, the conversations that I've had in my life. You know, when he says, how could somebody's life be in the hands of some fool? That will never not upset me, to be honest with you. And it goes beyond somebody being framed. It goes beyond that. It's like, I see it all the time. This is making me upset. I'm sorry. I see it all the time with car accidents, with people who are driving under the influence. People lose their entire families because of some idiot who decides to go on the road and drink and drive, because of somebody not paying attention, because of a plane where the tail got destroyed or touched the ground during a landing, and then you don't check it, so like 300 people just disappear all at once because you didn't pay attention. Like, the conversation goes beyond just the song. It's like, how could somebody's life be in the palms of just some fools, people who don't care to be careful? Yeah, this is a powerful song. I feel like one of the things that is not, like, the respect that should be given to music is often not given. We're told to study poetry and short stories and novels in college and in high school, but music should be brought into the classroom as well. Music is important, because for you to be able to get or communicate something so powerfully in 8 minutes is incredible. This is a wonderful song. Thank you so much, Steve and Paul, for the recommendation. Yeah, I told you that I wouldn't be holding back for this one, that I would just talk, and we'll see how it unfolds. If you hate it, I understand. Yeah. All right. Let's keep on listening. I'm gonna pull it back a touch. We're just a minute and 30 seconds left. How incredibly honorable of Mr. Dylan to do this. How incredibly brave. I feel like too many musicians and too many artists don't realize that, as I said earlier, music's power lies in its ability to transform the listener. The same thing can be said for many different art forms, but music to me is something that I'm just intrigued by on many different levels. We see this in the kind of music that Bob Marley made. We see this in the kind of music that often originates from the ghettos and often originates in hip hop, if only we'll take a minute to listen and try to understand it, versus just saying, oh, that's not my kind of music, I'm not going to listen. Music is a tool that can be used to transform the world and transform our experiences and inform us of so many things. And I'm just so blown away by his decision to be an advocate, for his decision to not just turn a blind eye and make a 3-minute song, but kind of lean into this and make something that's almost 9 minutes long. Mad respect. Mad respect. Seriously.
Girls in the coats and all they lied. The newspapers, they all went along.
And then he talks about the media. Like, why aren't you thinking critically? Why aren't you asking the kind of questions that need to be asked?
The DA said he was the one who...
It's like it's a failure across all of society, across all pillars of society. I'm not going to talk about regular civilians. We're talking about police officers. We're talking about witnesses. We're talking about juries. We're talking about judges, the media. We're talking about the DA. It's just so interesting how he manages to capture all of that in one go.
Did the deed and the old Algeria agreed. Rubin Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder when, guess who testified? Bellow and Bradley, and they both all they lied. The newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Now all the criminals.
Whoever is on the violin is a beast.
Now all the criminals in the coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and
I don't know if it's a violin, but obviously it's a string instrument. I apologize if I've gotten it wrong. Please correct me in the comments.
watch the sunrise while Rubin sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell. An innocent man in a living hell. Yes, that's the story of the hurricane. But it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
That's the harmonica again, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it is. I think it is. First of all, TRVPE music lyrics. Very good lyrics. Beautiful. I have to give respect to these YouTube channels, you know. Let me definitely drop a like, y'all. All right, let's go. Scooch over. Well, that was a journey. Thank you so much, Steve and Paul, for the recommendation. I had a lot of fun listening to this. I feel like this track covers so many things. I've spoken on most of it already. I feel like talking about the Black experience in America as a person who's not Black, and also giving so much respect to that experience is a beautiful thing. I feel like, you know, I said it to somebody the other day in one of my comments about a lyric from a Bob Marley song called War. And in that song, he says, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, then this is a war. And it's not just like the color of my skin, it's the color of your skin. Why should it even matter? Why should a person's entire life be dictated by something that they literally had no control over? It makes no sense. And I think it's one of those things that makes me realize that we're children of the past, that we are in the past in a way. And I really hope that the children of the future look back at us and say, why were they being so silly over something as simple as melanin? Yeah, just a very bold song, a very beautiful song, one that truly dives into all areas of this experience. I'm gonna look into who this was about, because they said it was about some event that actually occurred. So I'm going to look into that a little bit more and try to learn a bit more about that. Yeah, an absolutely beautiful song. So many great parts. The writing, the instrumentation, his vocal capacity and ability throughout the song, just the storytelling. Amazing. And again, I want to emphasize, just I guess for myself too, because a lot of the times, you know, when we're talking, it's like I'm also talking to myself. It's like, this is not just about the hurricane. It's about different situations across society where people are like literally barred because of things that they shouldn't be barred by. I had a good time. I enjoyed the song. Definitely one of my favorite Dylan songs yet. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to do a Dylan album. Yeah. Should I be bringing it all back home? Did somebody tell me what to do? No, they told me what to do with Jimi Hendrix. But I'm going to do a Dylan album. Steve, or someone else who is a Dylan fan through and through, please tell me which one I should begin with. I am ready. I'm ready to begin the journey. All right. I had a wonderful time. I said that already. I've said it probably 10 times. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Let me know what you'd like for me to listen to next. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. These things go such a long way in terms of just moving the channel forward, helping me to make it so that it's much more sustainable. If you want to support the channel through Ko-Fi, that is always welcome. I will be setting up Patreon where we could do different things like watch documentaries and interviews and things like that, because that allows us to kind of dive deeper and get into much richer conversations. So yeah. Again, I had fun. I'll see you in the next one. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Until the next upload, I guess. No, have a lovely rest of your day for the entirety of your life. Why am I going in circles? All right, I'm done. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.